So in this module, we have offered you a variety of techniques that you can use to close a sale. However, there are still so many barriers to closing a sale. Now, these barriers can frustrate even the best closing techniques. Some of those barriers include, number one, lack of trust. If the prospect does not trust you, the salesperson, or your company, they may be hesitant to make a purchase. The second barrier is poor communication. Miscommunication or lack of clarity can also create confusion and resistance. The third barrier is unclear value proposition. So if the prospect does not see the value, clear value in your product or your service, of course, they may also be reluctant to commit. Then prospect indecision is the fourth barrier to closing a sale. Some prospects may struggle with, making a decision, leading to hesitation in finalizing the purchase. Some prospects are like that. Non-committal. They wouldn't say no, but they wouldn't say an outright yes. The fifth barrier is, of course, price concerns. Pricing issues, such as perceived high costs or concerns about the return on investment can also be a very significant barrier. So where the price you're asking the prospect to pay does not, in the estimation of the prospect, be lower than the value they will receive, then of course it would create a barrier in closing the sale. The sixth barrier is unresolved objections. If there are unanswered questions or objections or concerns that have not been adequately addressed, of course the prospect may be unwilling to proceed. Lack of authority is the seventh barrier to closing a sale. And we talked about this in a previous session. So when you're dealing with a person who doesn't have the authority to make a purchasing decision, that can indeed impede the closing process. The eighth barrier is fear of making a wrong decision. Some prospects may fear making a wrong choice and may hesitate to commit to any purchase. Then, of course, we have competing priorities. If the prospect has other pressing issues or priorities that takes precedence over making that purchase decision, that's a real barrier, isn't it? The 10th barrier is ineffective sales presentation. If the sales presentation is not effective, not compelling, or does not resonate with the prospect's needs, their desires, their wants, then of course closing the sale will become more difficult. The 11th barrier is failure to build rapport from the onset. Building a strong relationship is very crucial in selling. Now, if you remember the selling wheel process, we touched on how to establish rapport. If rapport hasn't been established, the prospect may not feel comfortable making a commitment. The 12th barrier is lack of follow-up. Inadequate or non-existing follow-ups can leave a very sore taste, making the prospect feel neglected and of course less likely to move forward with that purchase. Market conditions is also the 13th barrier for closing a sale. So you have some external factors such as economic conditions, industry trends, market uncertainties. All of these can impact a prospect's willingness to buy a product or service. But the good news is that these barriers can be overcome. But overcoming them involves addressing the specific concerns of the prospect, building trust, refining the communication, building an effective strategy, demonstrating the value of the product or service, in a way that aligns with the prospect's needs and priorities. It's also very important that you're adaptable, that you're empathetic, that you're persistent in navigating and resolving these barriers. They are barriers, they are not walls. But in all, whether you close the sale or the door is closed against you, never forget that with consistency, with persistence, with patience, and by applying all that you have learned in this program, you will ultimately meet and exceed your sales goals. I sincerely want to thank and appreciate you for investing your time, energy, and resources in this program. I believe it's been worth your while. So please take out time to complete all the activities and practice sessions in all the modules that you have undertaken in this entire program. Remember to follow me on all social media platforms where I consistently share insightful posts, videos, and audios that will improve your personal effectiveness, your competencies, and help you exceed your revenue goals and add value to your organization and to society. Just search Ferdinand Ibezim across all the social media platforms. So please follow me, subscribe to my channels, like my posts if you do like them, and share them with your contacts. You can also contact me via the telephone numbers and email addresses that are displayed on your screen. Please don't forget to invite your friends, your colleagues, and your contacts to enroll in this program. I wish you a rewarding and fulfilling sales career. Go out there and thrive and dominate the marketplace. Thank you very much.